are ya?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Excited to connect with all of you guys. We're waiting on a couple of folks here, but as always, start off with some wins. I know we just met yesterday, but yeah, how are you feeling in terms of your clarity at this point?
Yeah, I'm feeling so much better and clearer at this point. It feels so good to have more insight around the different folks, right? That my offer is going to be more valuable to. So
Mm,
I'm really, really, really looking forward to like having more conversations and then like the light bulb with actually making more connections with the other vendors.
yeah,
That was a gem.
yeah. And that's the beautiful thing about just getting a sounding board, if you will, is now you're able to really open up like the possibilities of, okay, cool, I'm gonna go to this event, I'm gonna do these things, but then like what else, right? What are some maybe, I don't know if blind spots is the best way to put it, but it definitely allows us to to open up and expand our perspective there. So we've got Lucy here as well, and Tiara mentioned she's getting ready here, but yeah, we'll get started in a second. Any other wins, Jasmine, as well on your end?
Any other wins? Well, this is like a mini win, but we're still going to include it. I was just kind of sitting with some notes in my laptop after our call and just brainstorming. My daughter was in the kitchen cooking and she looked over
Mhm.
at me and just out of nowhere, she's like, "I'm proud of you." And I was like, "What?"
What?
I know.
Let's
She
go. That's so
was
big. Look
the
at that.
sweetest. It was sweet and just out of nowhere. And so that I'm absolutely going to count as a win.
Oh, absolutely. I would have led with that. That's everything because now you're modeling for her and I'm sure the rest of your family what it looks like to go for it, right? What it looks like
Yeah,
to put in the work and just literally sit down and just like one foot in front of the other. That's all we're doing.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Wonderful. Well, Tiara, and then we'll go to Lucy. Tiara, what's maybe a win for you? What type of progress have you made over the last, I think it's been two
Couple
two
days. Yeah,
days.
well, yeah, because I think it was just last week. I missed the call last week, but things been pretty well. I've had more time to digest what we talked about, just the mindset behind being consistent and posting content and
Mhm.
being in the headspace of what I would, teach my athletes. So
Yes, yes,
that's been
yes.
good. But I also joined uh, a webinar that
Oh,
helps
really?
with social media posting and like the algorithm and things like that that I can learn from and now implement. So I got
Hmm.
some notes and some action steps, and that's something I definitely didn't have last month. So I'm starting from
Yes.
scratch when it comes to that.
That's right. And all it takes, and we've got Besson over here as well coming in. Well, actually, let me ask you, right? Because I have some ideas, but what did it take, Tiara, for you to step into that identity of moving forward and taking action?
Well, some reassurance helped for sure. And then I think it was mainly the mental piece of it all.
Yeah.
Because when something else that I can consider a win that I realized is when I went into one of my apps where I was starting to make videos for the basketball training app. The main thing now is that I can just go back and edit. It's like 15 unedited. It's like 15
Hmm.
drafts I have. So I said, wow, well, might as well just start here.
It was
It doesn't
already
hurt to
there,
start from scratch.
right?
Now I look different. I was like 3 years ago, but it's okay.
Yes. No, that's part of it. Vesna, welcome. We see you. We're gonna
Hi.
call on you in just a second. We're gonna go over to Lucy, if that's okay with you, Vesna. But yeah, Lucy, what are
Yes.
some wins?
Okay, so I started my challenge, and yeah, it's been pretty overwhelming. That's why I know I owe you a message for sure. But I got it started. So that started yesterday. Today's day 2 of the challenge. So everything's been going pretty good. I increased that number of people interested in it. So that kind of came from reaching out through SMS. That seems to
Yes.
be where I have the best like conversion and
Yes.
conversations.
Mm.
So I also decided on what I was going to sell on Thursday for my like for the webinar, the workshop thing.
Mm.
And I can tell you more about it later, but I'm just excited that I'm gonna go ahead and push for the VIP for the premium, the level up in school, the group.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Okay, there was a lot of thought behind that, and I can go into more detail later. And then the third thing I just wanted to mention was a win that I was on a sales call this morning.
There we
I did not
go.
close it, and I very much want you to review it.
Okay.
I um I already uploaded it to Vimeo because I was like, yeah, that got a big A plus
Okay.
for effort, but F for all kinds of things.
Okay.
Lots
We'll
of
get
things I did
into it,
wrong.
and yeah, that's what I love is to get into like the specifics because then we can actually make some changes. But back to your wins, yes, right? And notice like a lot of you invest in, maybe you might add to it. We'll call on you in a second. This is the idea of momentum. This is what it looks like to just be in progress, work in progress, right? But we've got to do the work. We've got to make the decision. I mean, Lucy, you mentioned that maybe a few times. I decided. I made the decision, you know, what I mean? So then that starts to then cascade into these other areas. So Vesna, how are you? I know you're out and about there and you're probably freezing over where you're at, but how are you?
Uh, I am well, thank you. I'm sorry for joining like this. I thought I will be in a more calm place and be able
No worries.
to hear you better and not disturb too much. I hope that you are all doing great. So for my wins, I had a call with a lady from this inspection, and
Yes.
so she told me that anyway, the town hall is not the correct place. It's dumb, so it's a good address. The thing is that for the moment they just do things one to one and not so much. But at the same time, they understand where is the problem. Sorry, too much noise, right?
No, no, you're good.
Okay. Um, they know that there is a problem that the children need to be addressed, like in the groups in school during the classes, not just one to one, because they cannot have access to so many children. So I'm sending her the presentation. She will try to find the right person and see how it goes through them. And let's see.
Okay. But again, right? Like you're doing it.
Yeah.
You're doing it, guy. Like all of you, you're in it. You're in it. And that's worth celebrating because a week ago, a year ago, a decade ago, you probably weren't doing what you're doing now, today, in February or whatever. So that's always a great reminder because, back to Lucy and maybe back to you, Vesna, like, could it have been better? Could we have gotten better news? Could we have like reported like, oh, money collected? Sure, of course, yeah. And we also realize that um, comparison, and probably it's more of a reminder, comparison is the thief of joy, and so if we're comparing ourselves to this perfect, idealistic version of ourselves, of course we're gonna feel like, it's a win, but not really, right? And so I'm learning, and this is still something I'm learning, is that and gotta give credit where credit is due, right? So Chat GPT, it said alignment. No, it goes like this: aliveness, feeling alive comes from alignment. Alignment to what? Alignment to our vision, alignment to our path. I mean, Jasmine was a perfect example. Her daughter and her family like telling her, "I'm proud of you." Like that's big, right? And maybe for Lucy, like working with her husband, and maybe they have conversations around how difficult it's been, but hopefully they're also having conversations about how they're working together and trying to figure it out, right? So that feeling of aliveness, being alive, aliveness comes from being aligned to our path. And maybe even Tiara can speak on that as well as she's getting back into that game. So let's go to Tiara. You were the first one technically, and then we'll do Jasmine. So we'll do Tiara, Jasmine, Lucy, and Vesna with any sort of questions, challenges, things that may have gotten in the way to continue the progress and the momentum.
At this very moment, I don't really have any challenges besides the ones that I came to you with originally, right? So, I plan on riding a wave of the momentum and
Yes.
starting to put some of these action plans in order. I know one thing that may become a challenge is the tight like current work schedule that I have to keep up with this momentum, right? But I think what I'm gonna do because I already have the digital product and offers set. Like that part is what I'm confident and what I have fun with and what I want to serve the community with. I just know the marketing side and the sales calls and things like that is the part where I need more experience. And like you said, just putting one step at a time, but also realizing the same thing I would tell people I coach, just make sure I keep that in mind. What advice will I give and utilize
Yeah.
that advice? But I think when it comes to, since right now the main thing is getting the information out there, I think I'm gonna spend as much time like in the next 15 days to like preload a lot of things
Yes.
because my work schedule will get more busy like after February 17th. So it's like so right now I just want to try to preload a lot of things, get confident in that, and then start to post and engage with the community after that. So that way I won't feel overwhelmed in both areas.
Right. That's beautiful because this idea of overwhelm, it sounds like it's a theme here. So,
Yeah.
what we want to look at is this idea. I don't know if you guys have heard of like minimum viable product,
Mm.
right? So what you also want to look at is, okay, and minimum viable product is like, hey, if I'm gonna create this product, what's the minimum amount of work that needs to go into it? Or what's the minimum amount of like stuff it needs to have so that I can ship it, so I can send it, so I can put it out there to the world. Okay. But then there's this other idea of like a minimum viable actions. So for you, Tara, because you're gonna be busy soon, the question becomes what, and you probably have heard it in the terms of a non-negotiable. Right. Now, the
Right.
thing with non-negotiable, then it could add more stress, more overwhelm because it's this big thing that we always want to do and we never want to fail at, and it has to get done, and then it just creates more stress. So it's in line with that, but at the core of it, it's like, what's the like minimum thing that you can do every day? Is it 15? Like for Lucy, we were talking about 15 minutes of outbound, 30 minutes of outbound, or just 15 message, like a number. So for
Mm.
you, what is that minimum amount of work that if you always, if you like strive to do that every day, it's gonna put you in a really good position. Like, what is it?
Yeah, I'll have to give that some thought. I mean, maybe I can figure that answer out by the end of this call and hearing everybody and taking some of these notes. But that is a good question because there's some things that I want to say, but I know it's not feasible because I haven't did it in the past, right? So it's some things that I want,
But see,
but
yeah, so
uh,
now you know what you don't want, right? So I think you do have an idea. So whatever idea you have in mind, cut that in half, like 50% of that. What is it? What number is it? How, like, is it a time? Is it a outcome?
yeah,
Like, what's the output?
yeah. Let me think on that. Let me think on that
Okay.
a little bit.
Perfect. So what I would say for anybody, and I keep pointing back to Lucy because she's a perfect example of what it looks like to take uncomfortable action, even if it's like minimal or small. So what I would recommend for you, Terry, is right here, right now, commit to at least 15 minutes or more of that thing that you have in mind. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like, hey, let me go in and edit it for 15 minutes. Like literally set a timer. And I think we spoke about this. Set a
Yeah.
timer and like do it.
Mm-hmm.
15 minutes is going to then create what? What would that do for you?
Well, it will it will shorten the process, right? And it'll just allow me to keep some skin in the game on a daily basis,
Yes,
feeling like it's weekly or a monthly chore, right?
exactly. That's right.
That is something that I can do. for sure. But I'm still processing and
Of
thinking
course.
what exactly would could that be?
For sure. And go back to what we were talking about. Like for you, it's what would you coach your student on? If it's like, well, I know I could do free throws and practice, but I don't know. I don't know if it's a number. I don't know if it's a time. Like you have to answer it, but what would you literally tell them? Like, hey, let's just cut to it. Like, what's the thing, right?
Hmm.
That's gonna keep helping you coach yourself as well.
Thank you for that. Yeah.
Perfect. So we'll go over to Jasmine. And I know you don't have your camera on. You don't have to have it on. I think you might be out and about too. But so what is something that you need some help with that we can work on together?
Appreciate that. I was literally going to lead with that, by the way. So thank you. And I definitely will have camera on next time for sure. So I feel like Tiara really nailed it, like with the workload point that she made. I'm still working full time in my, day to day, and then also full time mom. And so what I find to be challenging are just like the daily distractions that come with just, oh, I forgot this. Oh, I got like that's what I'm doing now. I had every intention to sit and be in a stable setting, but had a daughter who needed to be picked up unexpectedly for a thing, right? And
Yes.
so managing distractions. For
Okay.
me, I need more help there. I
Mm,
need more structure around
mm,
how I'm managing my time. And so I really like the suggestion that you just made to Tira around like setting the alarms. That does tend to
yes.
work well for me. But my challenge is sitting still enough, long enough to even start with what alarms to set for what. I have two kids to manage. And what I'm finding is that most of the tools that I use, such as like maybe my alarm or maybe my Outlook calendar at work, they're
Mm,
more to help me be more organized and put together for my work life. But I don't have a lot, or maybe I'm just not leveraging what I have to really help me manage my time on the personal side and to dedicate time just to pour into my business.
yeah. Yeah. That's great. And by the way, for anybody who has any ideas, like I love what Kai is doing there, like put them in the chat and then we'll call on you to elaborate on that. So what I would remind everybody is what, like, why even do it to begin with? What's your big why, right? Why do you want to make time? Why do you want to focus on your business at this point? And I know sometimes that can feel like it's not tactical, but also it's a reminder that, hey, when we put all these other narratives aside, because I'm there, like I got a 6 or 7 year old, a wife, this, that, like we're all got things to do, but we all have a dream, isn't it? We all want to impact. We all want to make money from our passion. That's just the facts. So what needs to happen is we need to internalize, okay, cool. Yes, I'm busy. Yes, I'm this. Yes, I'm that. And what is your big why, Jasmine? And what is the thing that is like pulling you forward? What is that big why?
For me right now, my why is fulfilling the purpose that God has for my life.
Yes.
So yeah, my overarching why is that I just truly want to accomplish like all that I was born to put here to do. I don't,
Yeah.
none of us know, when the last day will be, right? And so for
Yeah.
me, before it's all said and done, I just truly want to add all the value that I know that I was put here to add,
Yeah.
and then to leave, that legacy for my
Mm,
children, right? And that example for my children and for like the next generation of leaders and leadership through them, right? So
yes.
that's like my big, like my heart, like deep
Yes.
why.
Look at that, right? And I think a lot of us share that. I'm seeing Lucy, and I know I think everybody, all of your guys' stories. So that's what it is, right? And what really got me recently is thinking about getting to a time, right, in maybe the not so distant future, where maybe like I kind of went for it, but I kind of didn't. But the whole thing that came to mind for me was like regrets. And is that the type of person that I want to be? Like to be the I almost went for it, I almost did it, I almost no, right? And then beyond that, some of the more kind of extreme versions of that, it's like let's say you do meet God and then he asks you like, "Hey, I know you had this big dream inside of you, but you kept making excuses as to why you couldn't do it. What happened there?" So when I ask myself that question, like there's no response to that. Oh, dang, oh man, right? And it also liberates me from my story of, well, and it gives me a kick in the butt to be like, well, Luis, you gotta wake up, my man. Like you gotta start doing the stuff that you said you want to do or not, and just stop talking about it and start doing it. That shifted tremendously for me recently because it really allowed me to come to the truth. And the truth sets you free. It allows you to move forward in the direction of your goals. So I love this. Anything on top of that, Jasmine, in terms of your why, I'll give you a tactical piece, which is similar to Tierra, and it also comes to our morning rituals or evening rituals, but anything else.
For sure. There's something else that's coming to mind just to add that maybe you don't mind pouring in or other people might could pour in. Um, with a challenge for me is ideation. So, for example, like maybe I will be in brainstorming mode and I get so many really great ideas or so many different directions that I could go. And then instead of maybe just choosing one and going with it,
Yeah.
I'm spinning or
Yes.
I find myself just eating away time, entertaining all the
Yes.
things instead of just moving forward with the one thing. And I'm
Right.
still not entirely clear even today on exactly what my offer is,
Yes.
exactly who I best serve. Like I'm still in the process of figuring that out, right?
Of course. Yes.
So I think that a lot of times when I get stuck in my head, that gets in the way.
That's right. And by the way, that's why we're working together, right? Because it's also been years of the same pattern. And so that's why when somebody comes in and says, "Hey, let's like get to it and work on it," and in a matter of minutes, you're like, "Whoa, the what was it? The peace and purpose protocol. What was that thing that we came up with? The
Hmm.
right?
The lead and peace
The
protocol, yeah.
lead in peace protocol is like, holy moly, yes." And then I'm getting chills just saying that because it's like, wow, that's real. We're choosing, we're deciding, we're moving forward, right? And so a lot of times we know what we need to do. It's not like we have no idea. It's to your point, maybe we have too many ideas. And we need someone in our life to say, yes, and what's your big why? You want to serve, you want to lead, choose, decide, make it happen because you can't keep settling for that old you. And that's what I told myself. That's what I tell all of us here. It's like it's really this like wake up call to be like, you can do this. Let's do it together. Or find somebody like someone who's gonna sit there with you and guide you and direct you and say, try this, try that. What about? But that's the big piece is getting clarity because you hit a big piece here is how we loop, isn't it? We have ideas and then we start like thinking. It's like, what about this? What about that? And then maybe the doubt comes in and then we don't do anything and we'll do it later and then we get overwhelmed. It's like, well, I could chat GPT it, I could reach out, but I don't even know it's gonna work. Why even try? And it's like, oh shoot, that's the thing. So then when we have a deadline, like, hey, let's meet on Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Pacific, now we have at least a structural piece to lean on. Or when we have one-to-ones together, now you know, okay, that's the deadline, right? And so that's why with Tierra, I was trying to hint at, hey, you need to create, you need to, you want to, you get to create a deadline for yourself to say, every day I want to do at least 15 minutes, at least 30 minutes every other day, at least, I don't know, right? Whatever works for you, that the time doesn't matter, but the fact that you're doing it, you know what it says to yourself? I'm committing to this and I'm not going back. I'm not sliding back. I love Lucy's why, which is I'm right there with the sister, right? Right? Like I don't want a job. Like I want my thing and I want to serve and I want to freaking help people. And therefore I need to challenge. It's not perfect. I'll sleep in, I'll whatever. Like that's normal. But see, the fact that we're doing it and we're calling ourselves out, that's the big shift. So is this landing for you guys? If so, what's hitting the most? If you can drop it in the chat, and then we'll come right back to you, Jasmine. What I would recommend is, yes, morning routine, evening routine, being very honest with ourselves. What time do you wake up? What time do you go to sleep? Can you make space? And think about the bowling analogy. When you go bowling, you can just free flow it, or you can have those bumpers. Those bumpers allow you to avoid the gutter. Those bumpers allow you to get back into your lane whenever you're like, well, I don't know, and you want to like hit the snooze or whatever. But now you have structure. Okay. For me, and again, it's not perfect. This is what we aim for as a minimum viable action. Wake up at 5, get ready, pray Bible for 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, meditate. By 6, I should be working out, right? I want to be working out by 6. That gives me an hour to work out, to get ready. But now we have structure. We have something to look forward to every single day. And it sets me up for success because by 7:15, I can then help my wife with my son. I can, go through my emails. I can do whatever I want with my time from 7 to 8. That's a big chunk of time for me that really allows me to set myself up for success. That's what I would recommend for you. If you're more of an evening person, do that in the evening. Hey, if you're maybe sleeping a little bit later, cool. Well, what can you do an hour before and just create these chunks? 15-minute for a quick journal, quick prayer, quick like give thanks for the day, 15 minutes for vision casting. What do I want tomorrow to look like? What would make tomorrow amazing? Like it's totally up to you. You can free flow that. But is that helping? Is that helping for you, Jasmine?
Yeah, no, I'm like taking all the notes right now.
I know.
So,
And we'll
um,
we'll upload the recording. But yes.
yes, yes, it does help. And I very much appreciate all of the chats in here too. I'm like taking some notes down from Lucy and also from Tiara as well. The time management, the setting of the alarm, and really what I'm gaining from all of this is just being a lot more intentional. Like, how bad do I want it? Because if there's an event
Yes.
or something, then I know, how to prepare myself for a thing. So if I can
Yes.
put so much time and effort into preparing myself for other commitments, why
Yes.
not this too?
Oh
So I
my
really just
goodness.
need to elevate like how I see myself and how I even see the business and stop like downplaying it.
Yes.
Showing up for myself just as much as I would show up for like somebody else or show up for work or show up for like an event or something like that, if that makes sense.
That's everything right there. And so the word behind that really hit me, that gives me chills, is this idea of space. Give your dreams the space to flourish. No, and this is me talking to myself. No wonder you're not where you want to be. And I said this to Kai and Lucy because they've been the faithful ones over the last I don't know how long, like always. And it almost makes me emotional. It almost really hits me to the core because like, damn, I want more people in here, but I haven't made space to reach out and to connect. Like, really, man? And then the new year hits, and then I'm like, oh, later, or oh, I'm busy, or like, no, dude, like fuck all that, straight up, right? And again, it almost makes me like really emotional and teary-eyed because that's something we can all solve for by making space, commitment, and time on our calendar in our day to day or week to week to really move the needle forward.
That reminds
Okay.
me, that reminds me of something I heard, and probably we've all heard it, but what you're not changing, you're choosing.
Yes, that's
Um,
right.
because so it goes back to that, in our controllables, focusing on our controllables. But most of these things that we want, and me speaking to myself as well, is in our control about what, or at least what we output. And we can't
Hmm.
control if the potential client pays for the offer, right? We can't control if it actually benefits them because we would have to trust them to buy into the product that we've produced as well, the same way we have to buy into ourselves. But if we want to see some change, then we have to make those habits come to
That's
fruition.
right. Yes, yes, is make those habits come into fruition by making the space and allowing it. and just give yourself a chance, you know? Like that's what I was telling myself, like, dude, just go like freaking go for it. Just like fuck make time on your calendar and yeah, it's gonna interfere with other things and other projects. And I've gone I've had to have some conversations around like my calendar and my time management, but like this is my life. Like this is what I want to do. And that's why it's important for you to know your big why, because it's very easy for someone to say, "Hey, hey, hey, you said I need more time from you, Luis," and then I go, "Oh, okay, man, that's fine, I'll do that." Versus like, "Hey, listen, I understand that, and also like the 2026 is my year, like I'm doing it this way, right?" So that's what we all get to do. So Lucy, we'll go to you. We'll go to Vesna and then Kai here, and then we'll do another round. I'm pretty sure we could get at least another round in. But Lucy,
Okay, I think that like, I would love to spend time talking about my sales call, but
yeah,
that's
let's do
not,
that.
I know, but I have my workshop Thursday, so I figure I need to be responsible and talk about that instead. But yeah, I mean, I just got off the call, so of course, wanting
Well,
to.
let's do this. Let's chat. And
We
I
can
know
hear
you and
you.
I have a pending session, which we'll get to that. But so, number one, how do you everything aside and like the number of attendees and all that stuff aside, like how do you personally feel about the workshop and its impact that it'll be making here?
I feel okay. Um, I definitely feel better now that I know that I've reached more people. So it's still a way smaller number than it should be, but
Yeah.
I feel okay. I'm excited that I have something I feel good about selling too. Like, because I
Yes.
think that was holding me back because I was like, oh, I don't want to do a free call again. And then I've done a paid call before, but I just feel like because my audience isn't new and like I didn't get enough new faces
Yeah.
in. So instead, so I combined my groups, I created a freemium. And so now I have, it's free, but then I have my premium
Yeah.
option, which already existed. So I didn't have to do anything except actually physically combine the groups, which did not take long at all. So I feel good because those people that have been showing up to every one of these challenges and workshops, they might actually they might join the premium and it's a
Yeah.
pretty good price. I beefed up a couple things and like made the value look really good. It
Yeah.
is really valuable. So like I very much believe in it. And so I'm really proud of selling that. It's $49 a month, $3.99 for the
Yeah.
year. So I feel like that's something I can handle selling on this call on Thursday.
Yeah. And why? Why do you feel that way?
Well, I mean, really, because I don't have enough new faces, so I need to sell something to these people that have been coming each time, and I don't want
Yeah. But
to do
why do
another
you
free
feel
call with them.
good about selling this is what I'm asking. Why do you feel good about,
Um,
okay, cool, there's this thing there now?
okay, I mean, I like it. I think I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
I think it's a good it's a solution for people that I think actually they'll get a lot out of, and it will
They'll
help
get a
them.
lot out of it, right? And from their perspective, is it worth more than what you're offering it for? Like from their perspective, from their true life in the next 2, 3 years?
Yeah, they could go through this. They could be a premium member and completely change their lives if they wanted, if they
Yes,
showed up. Yep.
exactly, right? So the reason why I'm asking these questions is because you have something really powerful there, right? But because there are some gaps in the number of people and maybe you didn't hit your expected number of total people, right? That stuff is so loud in our ear
Yeah.
and so distracting that when you're about to give to these people, it can actually pull away from like what you can actually give to these people. So for you, I think it comes back to this reminder of like, okay, cool. Your stuff is extremely useful. I would even price it higher because I know we've talked about that. Like that stuff that you have is great. It's good. It's really, really good. So it will allow you to say, okay, cool. This is like me planting a seed, right? You're planting a seed, you know it's going to produce amazing crops for them. And so that's why we have to just remind ourselves, okay, cool. I'm doing this because obviously I don't want to go to a job, right? But I'm also doing this because I want to help them. Who can tell me? Who can tell me what's the difference when you're operating from a place of here, I'm gonna give and I'm gonna just serve versus like, well, like, I don't really want to give you a free call, but I'll give it to you. Like, who can tell me what's the difference?
I think the difference is two things came to mind. One, like servant leadership, like a real servant leader isn't looking for the applause and what they can gain out of it. So if you're gonna deliver with some, servant, the mental frame of being serving first. But the other thing I think about is not focusing on the end goal, but appreciating the process.
Mm, yes. Yes, yes. And for someone like Lutz, because I know your story, it can also be naturally frustrating when you've tried it and it just didn't work, right? So now let's
Mm.
solve for that. So what's next, right? So that's amazing. That's great. So what's next for you, Lucy? So you have something great. You have the workshop coming up. What are some things that we can solve for?
Like for next time?
Well,
Like,
no, for because the pitch hasn't happened, right? Thursday. So what do
yeah.
you feel still not like quite there yet for you to say,
Oh.
hey, I want some guidance on these things. Like, what do you need help?
So I've never really sold anything on a webinar before. It's really mostly been just a free call.
Mm-hmm.
So I've watched it be done. I have attended Alex Hormozzi's stuff in, live. So like I know the basics, but I've never applied it to myself. So I know I want to make sure I'm talking about it from a standpoint of what the value is, what's in it for them, what's the value for them, the end result,
Yes, that's
not all
what I
the
was. Yeah,
little things, because it comes with a bunch of stuff, but I know they
yeah,
don't care about the stuff. But
yeah,
I still should like talk about the stuff with a value, put the value of what, the
yeah.
weekly call is, weekly coaching call, and the weekly coffee chat, and like all the stuff they get. And it's going to be obviously way higher than what the price actually
Yes,
is.
yes, yes, absolutely. Let me say something here. So, and let me think about whether I should. Let me just tell you, I recently invested 8,000 paid in full into a coach, into a mentor. What really stood out about that, because this was last week, Wednesday, what really stood out about that, you know what it was? He said, oh, okay, cool, Luis. So, yeah, man, I see that you need this. We're going to do that for you. Yeah, next step is we set up this, and then from there, we'll focus on this, this, and that. And to be able to do that, it's 8,000. So, what am I getting at? There's power in simplicity because he owns his value. Like he's
Mhm.
like, yeah, I can help you. Yeah, no, I've done that before. I'm sure you've seen my stuff. Like, I can help you. Like he didn't say that, but he made me feel that way. And then when he said, yeah, no, and I also what I'm seeing with you is this. Like he was very clear about what I was dealing with. So that told me, yeah, this guy could help me, right? So what am I getting at? So for you, yes, focus on ladies. I understand that you've been trying to hit your wellness goals for a very long time. And so, what this is for you is really just an opening. It's a door that you can walk through for on the other side of that door to have the health and the nutrition and all these other aspects, maybe come up with three that you deserve, that you've been wanting. And so I can help you with that. There's this thing over here that will help you through that as a container. And to be able to do that, it's only how much is it? Remind me?
49 a month or 399 for the year.
It's only 49 a month or three was it 399
399 for the year, which is like
for the
4 months free.
yeah.
I don't
Yeah, so
know.
399 for the year. And that's it, right? So now here's the next level. Pitch us right now.
Oh
I
God.
want you to pitch us just that what I just said. It's not going to be perfect. That's the point. But it's not about you, Lucy. It's about us. Serve us. Just like let's say we're gonna like invest in you because we want to be healthy and strong and all this stuff. So just say that one line, the price, and then that's it.
So am I saying, so how do I start that? Like,
That's the whole point. Like trust. That's what I'm saying. Like trust yourself. You've got this. Like you just
okay, so this this premium membership, do I call it a premium membership? I don't even know.
yeah. You see. So let me put a pause right here. Right. Time out. Like now that's where our mind starts like, should I do this? Should I do that? Like Jasmine, right? The like all these ideas. Yes, just go with that, you know? Just be like, yeah, so this next level for you or this premium option, what matters most, Lucy, I really want to cement this, is the energy of certainty of I can help you. Write that down. I can help you. Maybe have a sticky note in front of you. That's the energy you want to convey. It doesn't matter what you say. Like what matters is the emotion behind that. So you got it. Like doesn't matter. Just go for it. You got it.
Okay. So this premium membership is what you need to actually reach your health goals without having to go on fad diets, without having to count calories. And you get all of that for $49 a month or $3.99 for the year. Was that
Yeah.
close?
There we go. Right. So the fact
Yeah.
that you did it says everything, right? That's the whole point. Like you can do this. You can do this. Yes. So what feedback do you guys have for Vesna? Because we're her audience. Or I'm sorry, not for Vesna, for Lucy. Vesna, you're gonna go next, but for Lucy, give it to her. Maybe Kai or go on get off of mute. But what feedback do you have for her? What does she do well? What could she maybe tweak a little bit more in terms of just the delivery of it? I'm gonna call on you guys. Let's go. Let's
Okay,
go.
I was gonna
Vesna and Tiara and Jasmine.
many
Like,
things. Yeah, I have so many things I don't know how to say it, so I'm just gonna flow. For one, Lucy, fantastic, outstanding job. For one, I just want you to take a breath because you did it, girl. You did it. I can definitely tell that you got a lot more comfortable, like towards the end, like as you heard the sound of your own voice. And then it was almost like one of those things where it's like, well, I'm already here and I'm already talking about it, so I might as well.
Yeah.
So for me, like the latter part of your offer was more engaging for me because I could tell that as you started to talk about what it is you offer, you began to get a little bit more comfortable. So I would absolutely echo Luis in keeping it simple, but then also owning your offer because when you speak like you really believe that what you have to offer is going to be a benefit, then there's going to be less anxiety around it because you know that you're actually offering something that is going to be helpful. So a couple of things that came to mind. I participated in a Make More Offers challenge that Myron Golden had like a couple of months ago. And one of the nuggets that he dropped that was so good, I have not had time to practice it yet. So honestly, I think Luis would really like be the best person to like maybe help us unpack this suggestion maybe further. But one of the things that Myron says that he does when he sells is that he not only shares the value of what they get and paints the picture of the transformation that they get, but he also communicates what it will cost them if they don't go with what he's offering. And so it's not about just the fee or the package price, but it is because there's a difference between a payment and what you pay, but then there's also a difference between pay and cost and what it's going to cost you not to. And so I was like, oh, that is so good because I've never taken the time to actually consider what would it cost, my client if they were to either go somewhere else or not be able to fully experience the value of what I have to bring. And so thinking about that and then speaking in that language so that they can actually see what the comparison is. Because if I don't say yes to this, then like Tiara said, what I'm not changing, I'm choosing. So if I'm not choosing you, then what am I choosing if I'm not choosing you? And then what is not choosing you going to cost me? So girl, come on, you got that. Um,
Yay.
and another thing I think for me that I would just add to that would be just simply extending the invitation to join you. This is a journey. This is a experience, right? And so I hear you getting a little caught up in like the whole membership language because it sounds like kind of cliche, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So maybe it's an experience, maybe it's a journey, maybe you're just simply inviting them to come along with you for XYZ. And then that
Mhm.
might even help you position it in a way where you can speak to it from a more comfortable place. Because at the end of the day, Lucy, it's not about the price and it's not about the things. They're getting you. What do
Mhm.
they get when they get you? Um, and I believe they get a lot. I believe when they get you, they get the change that they really want that they can't get without you. So
Yes.
owning that, I think
No,
would be really
100%.
helpful. But that's all I got. Sorry, y'all.
That's wonderful.
Thank
No,
you.
yeah. That's big. So we'll hear from a few other of you guys, but yeah, it's that whole idea of reminding them that this is something they've been working on. This is something they've wanted, it's just a quick um see you later, Kai. Yeah, just a quick reminder, just like, yeah, and by the way, and it says it's kind of an aside, yeah, and by the way, the reason why I'm so excited for this is because I know a lot of you have been trying to reach your goals for a very long time. I've talked to a lot of you individually one to one. And so what we have here is really, and again, that's why like maybe I have a metaphor. This is a bridge, this is a door, this is the thing, right? This is the playground, but because you have to know your audience well too. Like what do they value most? Is it connection? I think for you it was connection. This is a container where we're going to go on this health and wellness journey together. And that's what we want to just remind them of. But to
Mm.
Jasmine's point, it all starts with you, right? You feeling like really aligned and embodied with, I am feeling excited. I am feeling like this is actually worth it.
Beautiful.
So, Tiara, Vesna, in maybe a one or two sentences, what feedback would you give Lucy?
The first thing that came to mind, my feedback would be to not use filler words like because you said so this is what you need or for only this price, right? Because then it makes it feel like okay, like so I could go with something else or I could just save this money instead of spending it, like as a customer, that's what I thought. But as a peer who's in a position that's selling things as well, just realizing that a pause, maybe taking a pause is better than using a filler word because most people get uncomfortable in those silence gaps, but the other person is listening or they're thinking too. But if they're listening and talking to us, then maybe just being silent or just rehearsing that one sentence or those two sentences. And I'm myself as well because but yeah, I just think that goes a long way when we don't make it seem like we're doing them a favor because we're not, you know.
Mhm.
I mean, and even if we are about like decreasing the price or doing something for a sale, it's like, if I'm discounting it for 30% off, it's more so don't miss it. It's gone after 12 versus you can get 30% off right now if you really want to, you know. I don't know, but something like that. But as
Yeah.
far as you stepping up to the plate and doing it even when we were nervous and we're strangers
Yeah.
and peers at the same time. So So I thought that all of that was kudos, but to give you some constructive criticism, Kim.
That's
Thank you.
right.
Awesome. Yeah, makes sense.
And that's why, like for all of you, start with the why behind for you, Lucy, is like, why do I feel this is worth $400? Because then it allows you to be like, oh yeah, it's all, whether you use only or not, it's like, yeah, it's just X amount, right? So Vesna, if you can, because we actually still have got 8 minutes, but yeah, yeah, what other feedback or advice would you give to Lucy?
So I think Jasmine and Tiara, they just pretty much summed it all up. I think I agree completely with them. Just I think when you feel comfortable with what you're selling, when you feel that your product is really good, then it will go just from you with this like confidence that you're sure of it. They will feel it, and I think they will follow more. For me also, I think it's a bit different because in Europe sometimes I think these sales things are a bit differently. So for me, sometimes I just said, okay, look, this is it. It can take you there, there, there. Also with coaching, sometimes people don't really understand what can really bring about, like. So if they understand well, if you it's like maybe also show them if they understand well, you have the picture for them, and then just say, okay, this is the product. If you don't want it, it's okay. If you want it, it's okay. And I think if you feel like this, they will just start to follow. I was renting a flat, and then the girl was with it, and said, yeah. I said, maybe it's not the right for you, so don't just go and see a few other. So, and then of course she came back. I didn't I didn't even want to force her because I knew that the flat was really good as it was, and then she came back. So at the same, when it's good, even so they can go and check out some other things. But if you like already give them some diamonds to show them on the path and so on, I think they will just come back. This is just like when you feel it's like my product is really good, they will also feel it and want to follow it.
Yes.
Yeah, thank
Right?
you.
It's like just owning it, trusting. And it's funny because we kind of know what that means, like trust yourself, own it, embody it. But it's another thing to end this up to Tira's point in Vesna. Repetition is the mother of all skill. Practice it.
Mhm.
That's why I wanted to, challenge you and push you to do it here now because what did that take? I don't know how long you took, but maybe 30 seconds of you just
Yeah,
like, oh shoot, and then you did it.
yeah.
That's what it is. That's it. That's like it's done. And now you can say, okay, cool, that was version one. It was a good. Now how do we get it from good, better, best? Okay,
Mhm.
we'll practice 5, 10, 20 times, record yourself, send it to me. I'll give it like now we can start to get into the tactical, but first we have to
Mhm.
address the mental, the identity. This is worth it. What are you talking about? $400 for a life-changing container and journey to like transform your life over the next year? Yeah, that's nothing, right?
Can
Like
I
people want that.
can I just add one thing? Lucy, you said that the people are coming back. It's a good sign because they even if they don't buy right away, but they start following you, they start building this relationship of trust with you. So it's even if they don't buy, even if they go for I don't know 3, 4 more sessions for free, at the end they will buy because they start. For me it was like um, I think it was uh, or 2023, like Tony Robbins, for me it was like the first time he's doing this each January now, this World Summit or something. I
Yes.
don't know how it's called, he calls it. And for me, when like he was doing it for free, and I was there, like I just paid this replays, and then I was like, I appreciated so much that he did this for free that in my head I decided that at one point I want to buy something. So then later on I did sign up. I went to UPW in
Mm,
Birmingham. So I think this is the thing, even if they don't buy today, it doesn't matter because they are trusting you more and more. And if they sign up each time, it means that they are building this relationship of trust. So don't.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard, it's easy to me to say don't worry if they don't buy. I know it's not, but what I want to say, they are, following, and at one moment they will buy. I think.
yep.
But I
Yeah.
think it's really amazing that they follow it, they come back. It's amazing. Like kudos, really.
Yeah, that's another thing,
Thank you.
it goes without saying, and they're either returning clients or returning audience
Mhm.
members, however you want to view them. It's for a reason. And our assumption is because you're good at what you do, because you can really help them, because they love your energy, you love your community, and it's worth $400 a year and more. So you can
Mhm.
say it confidently. I know you can. So we're gonna go over to Vesna. We got about 3 minutes here. I think that should be plenty of time. But what about you, Vesna? What are you working on? What are some things that you might need some feedback on?
Um, I don't know. So for the presentation, I will because it's in French, it's a bit hard. But I think I will send it out and then see how it goes. I will just add some info because when this lady said, we don't do groups yet, so I will like accentuate that we need to go first. At one point we need to start somewhere, and I will play
Mm-hmm.
with that, and I will play that. Why Paris needs to beach time first? Why not Belfort for once? I play a bit with that as well, and at the same time, so I will send for me like this until next time we meet. I plan to send this out, and as well I plan to work a bit on the content because I want to work a bit more on the empathy part. So yeah.
Okay. Yes, yes. And if you
Mm.
actually go through the chat here, I know Jasmine and a few other folks here shared some really great insights in terms of how do you frame it in their best interest? How do you remind them, okay, cool, you've never done groups. I'm curious. Well, this is what I would suggest. It's
Mm.
not like a statement, but it would be more of a question. Oh, no, no, I understand that. No problem at all. I'm curious, if you were to do a group, why would that be helpful? Why would that be important for your whatever it was, for your school, for your business, for your this? And by the way, that goes in line with Jasmine. I know you have like an event coming up. Same idea, right, Jasmine? Like, okay, gotcha. So it sounds like you're a business owner. You don't yet have a team, but just out of curiosity, if you were to get like leadership training, why would that be helpful for you? I'm curious. Now we're getting market
Mm.
feedback, we're getting data, and we can use that to then position ourselves with the ones that do want our help.
Yeah, I understand you completely, but the thing is that these are like bureaucracy. You're talking to the bureaucracy,
Yes,
so
I agree.
sometimes they don't care so much. But for me, I just want to picture them, the picture which is like inspiring them and motivating
Yes,
them. It's like the children need it. We have a situation now, and here there is like also like teachers just come out and say that they're like children are more and more aggressive, violent. We need to act now, and we mustn't wait like to do it person for person. We need to go into the group and like
yes,
try to reach as many children as we can. So I try to go from that. Maybe I'm
of
wrong. I
course.
don't know.
No, that's good. The thing is, influence a person the way that they are already being influenced.
Mm,
So we may believe, oh, the vision is going to really influence this person. It could be
mm,
true. It could be true. You just
but
have to really understand them. And how do you understand a person? You ask questions.
mm,
And so it's like, okay, gotcha. So just so that I can understand your perspective a little bit more, Mr. Principal or whoever it was, or Miss who
mm,
this and that. Um, when you do consider a project, what would make it worthwhile for your team, for your school? What would make it
mm,
worthwhile? What are the top things you look for?
mm,
And it may be the vision, or it's like it's going to be impactful. Okay,
mm,
great. So then double down on
mm,
that. But it may be something else. And
mm,
this is the discovery process and then Lucy and I were going to jam out with on how her sales call went to see how well she did in unearthing those things.
mm,
Right? So that's what we'll
mm,
help with, is getting clarity on that. So our
mm.
time is up. I have another meeting here now, actually, but it's always a blessing to be here with each and every one of you guys. Tune in again Tuesday, 10 a.m. Pacific, as always. I may add another time. I'll keep you guys posted, but for now, thank you guys for showing up. We'll put the recording on the school group, so just keep an eye out on that. Usually it takes about 24 hours, but appreciate you, and we'll see you guys next week. Okay?
Thank you very
Yeah,
much, Riz.
bye.
Thank you,
Nice to meet
ladies.
you.
Wonderful. Cheers. Thank you,
Have a
Bye.
everybody.
great time, everybody. Bye bye.